From the White House, here it is.
We expect Russia to honor its commitment to let in all forms of humanitarian assistance. We expect Russia to ensure that all lines of communication and transport, including seaports, airports, roads, and airspace, remain open for the delivery of humanitarian assistance and for civilian transit. We expect Russia to meet its commitment to cease all military activities in Georgia, and we expect all Russian forces that entered Georgia in recent days to withdraw from that country. As I have made clear, Russia's ongoing action raised serious questions about its intentions in Georgia and the region. In recent years, Russia has sought to integrate into the diplomatic, political, economic, and security structures of the 21st century. The United States has supported those efforts. Now Russia is putting its aspirations at risk by taking actions in Georgia that are inconsistent with the principles of those institutions, to begin to repair the damage to its relations with the United States, Europe, and other nations, and to begin restoring its place in the world. Russia must keep its word and act to end this crisis.
I mean, what do you say about that statement? Russia has violated the United States. Russia has shown itself to be a bad member of the international community. Russia needs to make reparations. Russia was attacked in a sneak attack last Thursday night into Friday morning. Thousands were killed. Military bases were leveled by over 100 tanks, jets, self-propelled missile batteries. This is just off the charts. But you have a population in the United States who has no basic grasp of anything, much less nationally, locally, but certainly internationally. They have no idea even where Georgia is, and the average American is bumbling around thinking Russia is starting a fight, just like the globalists attacked Serbia for 2 years with their Muslim brethren out of Albania. The Serbs finally fought back when they were engaging in ethnic cleansing against the Serbs. And I'm not saying both sides didn't kill each other. The point is, who started it? First blood, baby. That's the key here in these situations. Hitler invaded Poland. Hitler invaded Czechoslovakia. Hitler invaded Sudetenland. He invaded the Rhineland. He invaded Danzig. He invaded France. He invaded North Africa. I mean, this would be like Bush coming out and trying to change the history of World War II to say that, that the United States invaded Germany. It's such an insult to everyone's intellect. But I guess the fact that some of the public are buying it says that it's not an insult. They know the public is basically a dead horse, just ready to be gobbled. Play John McCain with the Hypocrisy Award of the Year, saying that invasions of countries will not be tolerated in the 21st century and that it's outrageous that Russia's doing this.
I don't think we're going to reignite the Cold War here with Russia. I think this is a very serious situation, but I don't see this as a return to nuclear standoffs, et cetera, et cetera. I want to have a dialogue with the Russians. I want them to get out of Georgian territory as quickly as possible, and I am interested in good relations between the United States and Russia. But in the 21st century, nations don't invade other nations.
So Bush and Condoleezza Rice and McCain and all of them are trying to sound reasonable. Hey, Russia attacked us. Russia attacked its neighbor. We're trying to be reasonable. Pull out. Hand everything over. Let us attack now into your country. Let us sneak attack you. How dare you defend yourself? We're going to come back and break down the really big developments. The head of Russian forces threatens again to use nuclear weapons. And we'll continue just to break all of this down, and we'll take your phone calls at 1-800-259-9231. New York and London banks created the Soviet Union.
Some folks are born, make the way.
They overthrew the rotting Tsarist empire
Red, white, and blue.
and took the spoils.
Red, white, and blue. And when the band plays, help to the
They then murdered more than 60 million Christians, peasants. The CIA put Mao Zedong into power. The Chinese government says he killed 60 million. Many of the historical treatises on the subject say it's more like 85 million. The New World Order, they are the great architects. They build the great death camps. They destroy societies and build new ones. They destroy families. They destroy cultures. They destroy industries. Just like Walmart is announcing a 17% increase in profits while every other chain is posting huge losses. Only the big, massive box stores move forward, destroying downtown USA. It's an example of the New World Order. They bring consolidation. They bring control. They bring misery and pain. And we look at what's happening with Russia, a sneak attack launched by the U.S. Most of the government ministers, and we've listed them here, head of the defense, foreign minister, so on, are Israelis. Israel brags that they're commanding the Georgian forces in the sneak attack. Israeli newspapers, Haaretz, Ynet. But Israel's allowed to brag about what they're doing. I'm bad if I read their newspaper articles on air. NATO involved in the crime, Ukraine involved in the crime, Ukrainian tank drivers attacking the Russians in a sneak attack. And now Ukraine is escalating a conflict in their border regions with Russia and in the Black Sea, and they've told the Russians today that any troop movements, any ship movements out of their Black Sea port, the only Black Sea port the Russians have, will have to be authorized by the Ukrainian government. Well, the Russians have a lease that has decades left on it. And they added, and by the way, we can extend that from 72 hours anytime we wish, and we're not going to allow your ships to dock back again at the port. And they're telling the Russians that they have to let them bring more arms in to the ports in Georgia so that Georgia can continue to kill Russians and continue to go into the homes. And there's now video of all of it in the international press and photos. The Georgians, backed by the U.S., kids just playing Ghost Recon 6-7 years ago. In Ghost Recon 1, were trained, as all the games he makes turn out coming true. All the books he writes turn out coming true, basically. He's married to former White House official's daughter. I mean, Tom Clancy, totally in intelligence, admits he is. It's how they throw it in our face. Ghost Recon, I thought I'd play the intro to this from 2002. 2001 is when the game was made. It was released in 2002, Ghost Recon 1. We read you the text from the rundown of the video game, but here it is, where U.S. forces attack the exact target in Ossetia in 2008. I guess just a lucky guess, huh? Except they say the Russians invade in the game. Here it is.
The year is 2008, and the world teeters on the brink of war. Radical ultranationalists have seized power in Moscow. Their goal, the reestablishment of the old Soviet Empire. Ukraine, Belarus, Kazakhstan. One by one, the nearby independent republics slip back into the Russian orbit. Russian tanks sit in the Caucasus Mountains and the Baltic forests, poised to strike to the south and east. The world holds its breath and waits. For one small group of elite soldiers, the war has already begun. U.S. Special Forces Group 5, 1st Battalion, D Company. Deployed on peacekeeping duty to the Republic of Georgia in the Caucasus, this handful of Green Berets represents the very tip of the spear, the first line of defense. Equipped with the latest battlefield technology and trained in the latest techniques of covert warfare, they strike, swiftly, silently, invisibly. They call themselves the Ghosts.
And they did. It shows the game, them going through Ossetia and the capital, shooting people, murdering them, and they did. And they went in and they murdered women and children in their homes. That's when the decision was made, was back in 2001, publicly to encircle Russia. And then the people that played those video games are now actually there killing as they practiced 7 years ago in a video game. Predictive programming. You like being programmed? We'll be right back.